that, Nathan and Kylie. Do you want to, Katie, come up? So I'm going to interview the both of you. You can come over here next to your woman. Your hair looks beautiful, sweetie. So, we'll start with you. I'll start with you.
Sorry, I'm so nervous.
Yeah, no, that's. I'm just going to pause and let you just really get nervous. So when did you come to Gavin from Kalgoorlie? When did you come down? Down on his mic, please. When?
When was it? I can't even remember.
Up a bit.
It's just been so fantastic so far.
Up a bit.
Up a bit, yeah.
Yep. Okay, how old are you?
I am 31.
So when did you come over from South Australia?
I come the 2nd of March or something. In February, March, yeah, March.
So March, and you've been over to West Australia for 4 months?
Yes.
And tell me a bit about your childhood.
So I was, my mother left my father when I was about 2 from Sydney and come to South Australia with my grandmother. I spent 3 years with my mum, and then my mother obviously gave it to my grandmother. So then my grandmother from 5 to
You grew up at Granny's as well, did you?
yeah, 5 to 10. Grew up with my grandmother, and yeah. I just remember her taking me to sports.
Where was Grandpa?
I don't remember.
It was just Granny?
No, I think they left him as well.
Oh.
He was pretty heavy.
Yep.
So yeah.
So Granny took you to sports?
Yeah, sports.
Your brothers and sisters?
I have a brother. Yes.
Was he there as well?
No, he stayed with my mother.
Okay.
Yep. And then they stayed. Yeah, he stayed with my mother. It was just me that went to my grandmother.
Yep.
And then from 10 or 11, I think I went back to my mum's for about a month, 4 months or so, or 3 months, and then
Wasn't what you cracked up to what you thought it would be, would it?
no, it wasn't. I remember being on the roof. The police were there. I was throwing tiles at them, and then I got taken into. I was taken to the guardianship of the minister, and then they.
So you obviously you're a bit of a handful for your granny, were you?
No, I was with my mother at this stage.
So you're a handful to your granny. Why do you go back to mum?
Then I went back to mum. Yeah.
Because you're a handful for your granny.
Yes, 100%. I was
angry.
Yeah, I was even drinking at that stage.
How were?
About 10, 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my grandmother said she can't do this anymore.
Yeah, so you go to your mum's?
Yeah, went to mum's.
Was mum married with a new man or single?
No, mum was single, I think.
With your brother there?
Yes, my brother was there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's older or younger?
He's younger, 2 years younger than me.
And so what happened?
And then I remember just being really aggressive, angry all the time. The police got called. Then I climbed the roof and said, "You're not going to get me," and throwing rocks at them and off the roof. And then they took me. My mother said she can't do it anymore. And then from there I went to be in foster care, going from house to house kind of situation for a little while. And then I went into boys' homes. There was Lockyer Park, Cornerways, Enfield and Sturt. I got moved around from all these, there was boys and girls, but I ended up at Cornerways. For most of the time it was just a boys' home. And yeah.
How long were you there for?
Until I was about 15, 16, and then I really wanted to seek out my mother, even though I felt that... You
hadn't seen her for a few years?
Yeah, she'd rock up, I think, once at Christmas, at a Christmas party every year or something. I would see her every now and then, but then I really wanted to seek her out because, you know, you love your mother, you always want your mother, and I seeked her out, so I'd run away from the foster unit, and then, yeah, the police would always get a missing persons. They would always be trying to find me, so I was always running from them.
So when did you get into drugs and stuff?
Yeah, so 17 was the first time I had some serious...
And what was that?
That was methamphetamines.
So tell us a story from 17 just briefly, up to you before just when you met Katie.
So from 17, 17, I started using drugs and drinking a lot. Then a couple weeks after I turned 18, I got put in jail. I was really young, obviously. I was in Adelaide, I was in the remand centre, and then I spent 3 months in there, got off got out of jail, was on home detention, spent about 11 months in a home detention, and then I met Katie at my cousin's house. We watched the movie. It wasn't the best movie. It was The Human Centipede, but we watched it together there. I remember that.
So we'll stop at The Human Centipede. And we'll pause at The Human Centipede and give a gorgeous wife for Mike. And so, what about you? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in...
You got to hold it around here.
I grew up in Clangadoo.
Who? Kakadu?
Clangadoo.
Clangadoo?
Yeah.
Was that China?
No, it's about an hour from Mount Gambier.
Oh.
Country town, yeah.
South Australia's got some funny names for their towns, eh? So Clackadoo, tell me about Clackadoo.
Sorry, I'm so nervous.
You're right.
I grew up with my brother Stephen. As far as I know, I had a decent childhood.
Where's mum and dad? Have you grew up with mum and dad or your brother?
I grew up with my mum and dad.
Okay.
I lost my mum when I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
And then my dad abandoned me. He didn't abandon me, I was still living with him, but he kind of just pushed me out the way. He was an alcoholic. There would be parties all the time. I would kind of look after my brother a little bit, he would look after me.
Is he older or younger?
He's older, a year older than me, yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then I just always remember my dad being drunk and, you know, coming home and telling me that, you know, he never wanted me, he wanted a son and this and that. So my brother's not actually my dad's real son. My dad started raising him when he was about 6 months old.
Okay.
And he just said that, you know, I'm the reason why my mum and dad used to fight. I'm the reason why my mum died. And he was just, yeah, not a very good dad. And then, sorry.
That's all right, you're doing well.
So my dad had a friend who I grew up calling uncle, and that's when he started coming around, and my dad would just send him into my bedroom and then turn the music up really loud, and then he would just do whatever he wanted to do with me, and then left. And
what age did that start happening?
At the age of 9.
Wow.
And that's when I started my addiction of marijuana. At the age of 9, I used to steal my dad's pot. I used to every now and then take his alcohol just to feel better, I guess, to block everything out. And then I just started, you know, going to school and you know, just being away from everyone. Like, I didn't want to be around.
People, yeah.
Yeah, and then I remember Dad just, you know, we used to live, our house used to be right behind a pub.
Yeah.
And my dad would always be at the pub. I'd be home with my brother, we'd be playing the Nintendo. And yeah, like I never really saw my dad. My nan and pop used to come around a lot and raise us and look after us. And every time my dad would come home, like, it was just horrible. He just, you know, he didn't really want to look at me or anything. So I never really had a good relationship.
So what forced you out of home? What happened there? Tell me between ups and downs, then and when you met Nath and the human centipede.
So from the age of 9 up until about 13, I was followed and sexually assaulted by the same man. I went up and visited my sister in Meningie, and then she just come up to me once and, you know, said, like, is everything all right? And I said no. My dad's friend was hurting me, so she, you know, asked where and stuff, and I told her, and she rang my dad and said that she wasn't going to send me home. And then 3 days later, my dad rocked up on my sister's doorstep, drunk, yelling and abusing her, and you know, just acting like he didn't really know what was going on. He pretended that he cared. and then, you said, like, it's fine to stay here, I'll take your brother home. So he took my brother home, and then a week later, I had the police at my sister's doorstep wanting to do an interview, because after I had told the police about what was going on, three other girls come forward and said that he was doing the same thing to them. One of them turned out to be my best friend. And then the police were just interviewing me a lot. Like, I just remember them always having their cameras in my face. And then I remember coming home from school one day and I heard the same sound that I used to hear when he'd come up my driveway when I was little. So he followed me to Meningie when my sister was at work, and he had like all of this stuff on the trailer saying, like, I've got a cupboard, I've got this, and kind of trying to buy my silence. And my godmother at the time, she was there, and she come out and started screaming, yelling, told me to go to my room, and then it was just chaos. There was police that got involved and stuff like that. So, and then about 3 weeks later after that, the police rocked up on my sister's doorstep and said that the man had committed suicide. They found him in the kitchen, naked, with a lot of my photos and a lot of my friends' photos, and he took a whole heap of pills, and he passed away, obviously. And then I just, I became hard for my sister, because my sister, she had her own daughter, my niece, who's now 22, but at the time she was quite little. And I don't know what it was, I became hard. I didn't trust anyone, I didn't trust my friends, I didn't trust my dad. And then I was hard at school. I was just getting into fights all the time, and getting detention, and skipping school, just going on my own everywhere. And then one day I took my sister's car with my boyfriend in it at the time, and I took it, and we were going around a dirt road, and it was raining, and he kept saying go faster, so I went faster, and next minute the corner came up, and I didn't even know, and I went to put on the brakes, and the car just spun out of control. I don't know whether it was God or anything at that time, but I didn't really come out with much besides bruises. But by the time I got home, my sister knew I took her car, so we got into a huge fight. It got quite violent. I hit her, and then she tried to protect herself, and then I ran away, and then I just slept in a bush at the AFL stadium for about 2 weeks. My friend was bringing me food and stuff like that, and then I went back to my sister's house and got some clothes, and I rang Family First Aid myself and said that I couldn't go home.
So what did you do from there? Fast forward between there and went and make nice?
I went into foster care. I was moved around every 2 weeks. More sexual abuse happened, and then I met my boyfriend at the time at 15, and that's when I experienced domestic violence for the first time. He went to jail. I ran away, and then
was sort of drugged into the drugs and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, so I started the methamphetamines when I was about 15 and a half. And then my foster sister at the time told me to come over, and I came over, and I met this one.
So where did you stay? Over where?
Over
the house?
Where he was staying at his cousin's, I think.
Was that a funny name place as well?
No, it's Morford Vale or Ville. It's just right near the racecourse there.
Yeah, so you watched the movie
It was Edward.
called Centipede, man?
Human Centipede.
Human Centipede. We're going to have to look that one up later. Okay, I won't look that one up later. Is it a bit like Bad Boy Bobby, is it? No. Don't look at it. Okay, I won't watch it. So for those of you who watch on, don't watch Human Centipede. So then he would have laid there, and he got the fluffies over him and centipede. I played dot to dot with my missus. How'd it happen?
We were texting each other, and then she we were one in another room. I was in this room, she was in that room. And
you text each other in other rooms. Oh, that's cute.
She was, and then I got off home D. I think she left, and I didn't see her for a little while.
It's pretty fair to say, both of you, honestly. I know what you've been through. I know all the tears you've shed. I know all the fear. I know all the anxiety. I know I feel it. I know it. And it's really appreciative that you've been honest and transparent in front of all of us. Yeah. And a lot of us got give your hands to And I know you're not sharing what you're sharing to blame your mum or your dad or your sister or anybody. This is your story, and your story is real for you, it's real for us, and we can all learn from your story. We're all got to see that this is your story. And so what happened after the texting from room to room to room?
I didn't end up seeing her for, I think it was like 5 years or something. 4 years.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I ended up getting into a relationship with someone else. 2 months later, I had a child. Oh, not 2 months later. 2 months later, she was pregnant.
Yeah.
And then we both got into a homeless house because we were pregnant and it was unsafe where she was. And then we ended up moving down to Galway in South Australia. And then she had the baby. Oh, she had the baby before we went down, and my gorgeous daughter Jasmine. And then 2 months. On my birthday, she was about three months, but Ebony, she left me on my birthday or so,
yeah.
And didn't see my daughter or her for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then got a day here and a day there, and then it started going to week and week, and then I had week and week for a while, and then it took about, and then for about 6 months after that, I got Jasmine full time, and then I had Jasmine with me for about a year and a half, and then I moved up to back to Smithfield.
Yeah.
And then I got in contact with Katie.
Oh, you followed her up, did you?
Yeah, and then Katie became stepmom.
So you were single at the time? Oh, you were back door, did you?
My partner at the time, he was in jail.
Oh, okay, well that's all right. That's not as bad.
So he was in
That's not as bad, it's in jail. No, you're safe, bro.
And then we and then I had a house, had a little flat. Katie used to come and see me all the time, and then it was like I thought, well, you've got a house. I could move in with you, and we could live together. And then I moved in with Katie.
Oh, so how many kids you got?
We've got 2 together, but Jasmine loves Katie.
So you got 3 together.
Yeah.
No, 2 together, but we have 3.
Three children in total.
Yep.
So the oldest one is
Jasmine. She's turning 10 in September.
Yeah.
And then
Where's she?
She's with Ebony's grandparents.
Okay, and the next one?
Then that's Violet.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's 4 nearly.
4, yeah.
And then Connor, he's nearly 3.
So what brought you to the bottom of the bottom in South Australia? What happened? Because I know you ran me up a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
You've got an awesome support network over there, right?
Yeah, they're beautiful people in South
Off
Australia.
the charts.
Yeah, I love you all.
Oh, they'll be watching on, yeah. Yeah, they'll be on Facebook watching on, cheering you on.
Yeah.
And so how appreciative are you to them?
Steve and Nick, yeah.
Are you sure to say? How appreciative are you? Honey, on the mic.
Words can't describe like how happy and how blessed and just everything, like, people taking on, 1 child, let alone 2. And
People took on your children that you didn't know.
Yeah, well, we knew Nick for a little while just from church, and we were just going there for the free food.
Yes, funny, them Christians, they give you free food. And they're happy clapping off.
Yeah, I think I think we had an argument or something there, and then that's when they kind of figured out that we were
off the chops.
Off the chops a little bit.
And be straight up and honest. They give you all this free food, and then the money you get, you have a shot,
Yeah, 100%, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but they think they're doing the right thing, but it's and you just get a tickle.
100%.
I actually remember like going there, getting free food all the time and spending my money on the wrong things, obviously.
Yeah.
But I had this compelling feeling to actually go into the church on a Sunday, because it was a Tuesday that they had the free food.
Yeah.
And I had a compelling this feeling to go in and sit on the Sunday. And we went on the Sunday. Prior to that, me and Katie were trying to have a baby for about 6 years. I remember walking in, instant tears come down my face. I just prayed for a family, because I didn't have my daughter at that point for about 3 years. I didn't see her.
Wow.
And I prayed for a family, and about 3 to 4 weeks later, she was pregnant.
So speed up, so the two youngest ones are.
3 and 2.
Okay, now, what brought you to ring me? What brought you to ring me? Because it takes a lot to do what you've done. I mean, for you to leave your wife and kids over there, and you come in fried on the gear, and you come down a bit,
Yeah.
but you left South Australia, you left your missus, kids,
Yeah.
been here 8 years, and you come over here, and you've ever since you got here, you've had your head down, bum up, and then she started bothering me wanting to come in, and I could have the two of you, so that's why I had to send you to Kalgoorlie.
Well, obviously, you fellas all know that I love my children a lot, and I love my partner so much, and I come here to change my life and my family, because they mean the world to me.
It's taken a lot for you, dude. I see it in your face, I see it on the names, I see that you're just really determined.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say men and women are both equal, but as a man leads, a woman follows. And it takes a lot of guts to do what you've done, man. To be away from your kids and away from your missus. And as you led the way, she followed.
Yes.
How hard has it been for you being away from him?
I think the first maybe 2 weeks that he was gone, it was kind of peaceful. It was okay. But then when I realised that the kids got a little bit harder, Connor is such a daddy's boy, and he just did not listen to me or anything, so it got harder, and then I think being with someone for 8 years, 24/7, just being by their side, and then realising that, I'm actually, he's not there sort of thing. So I think I kind of forgot about the little things, the little things that mattered with him. I was always whinging and whining about all the big things, you don't do this, you just play the PlayStation all the time, but I just forgot about the little things, you know what I mean? So
How hard has it been you to stay away from your kids?
Sorry. So because of my childhood, my children are my whole entire world, and I took them for granted. And my kids mean the absolute world to me, and I think 4 days after I was here, I just wanted to go home, just for them. And then something inside me said that I had to stay, and I had to do this for my daughter and my son. Not be good there. There's no words to describe how hard it has been to be away from my children. I speak to them once a week, and man, my daughter, she's just, I don't even know what happened with her.
What do you mean?
She's just so beautiful, she talks, and she said to me the other day, she said, "Mum, I'm so excited that you and Daddy don't fight." And it's like, and my son, he's like my knight in shining armour.
Right.
So he's my one and only man in my life, besides this one, but my one and only man in my life.
And so for those in South Australia, do you want to say anything to them before we close?
Mum and Daddy love you, and we can't wait to have a sober life, sober family, and I promise that I'll be better. So will Daddy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's just the future.
And we miss you loads.
Yeah. And Vicky and all that.
Yeah. I just want to say, there's no words that can describe how grateful I am.
Right, hang on a sec. What I think I've got a good idea. So, for you coming down to Perth was a surprise. Was that a real surprise?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. A lot.
Yeah, well, you're not actually married, but you've jiggy-jigged. Once or twice, maybe. I hope it's not with that spider. It's human centipede. I've never seen it, so... but there's just something wrong about the picture, because you're still going to be doing life together, aren't you?
Yes.
And you're going to give it 100%. I think there's something missing. Do you reckon there's something missing? There's something missing.
And I love my son. I love my daughter as well.
So, what's your name, sweetie? You look beautiful.
What's your name?
What's your name?
This is Violet.
Violet. And hey, bro.
Connor.
Hey, mate, how are you?
This is the shy one.
I got some sad news. They're here to stay.
If you could feel my heart right now, I'll tell you what.
And so, who have we got over here? You want the mic?
This is the family.
So this is my beautiful angel Violet. She's 3. And this is Connor. This is 2. Are you 2? Yeah, you 2. And this is Nick and Mel. They're the ones that have been raising our children for a while. And then their children behind them. We've got Tommy and we've got Aaliyah. And then, as I think most of you know, this is Vicky.
Hi, Vicky.
Steve. And we've got their beautiful children, Jed. Hi, Jed. And hi, Nicole. And this is Nicole, Violet's best friend. So, and this is our Christian family. This is, these guys are the reasons why we got up here, and just my children, I had to do it for my kids. So,
You look at that smile. Violet. Love you.
Would you like to say anything?
No, we're just very, it's a privilege to be able to be part of this and help you guys and really be part of your journey. When you guys met us, we met them a few years ago through our outreach kitchen ministry, and over the years Nathan and Katie will come into church on Tuesday. And then just before they went to Perth, they reached out to Steve and I, and we sat down and had a chat with them and got you both here. And obviously Mel and I took the kids, and obviously with Steve and Vicky as well and our kids, we really are just blessed to be able to be part of the journey. And we just praise God for the fact that it's been this amount of time, and really we're happy for you guys and feel privileged and blessed to be part of that. So, man, we pray for you guys every week, and we really ask the Lord to continue to bless your family and you. And obviously, as Shalom says, we believe that it's about the holistic ministry of the family, and you guys are a testimony of God's grace. So, we're very blessed.
I just want to say to both of you guys, and to Nathan and Katie. From when we were sitting on the front lawn of your house, when me and Nick came that day when you reached out to us, to see you guys today, man, is unbelievable. And God is just so good. And He is the only reason why you two guys are standing there right now. And for all you guys to know, just to prove that God was in this, the day after that, or the 2 days after Katie came over here, DCP turned up to take the kids. And then when they found out they were here, they said we're going to leave them alone, just to show you God's hand was in all the time. Keep going, guys, keep going.
I just acknowledge that you're a pastor of a church in South Australia.
That's right, yeah. Pastor of Gospel City Church. We're in the northern suburbs of Adelaide, so Gawler.
Yeah. It takes it's a holistic. It takes a community to make a difference, and we want to honour you as yourself, and we want to honour your children and your wife, and the sacrifice you've made to take strangers basically into your house, and for partnering with us and helping these two change your life. We're all links in someone else's salvation and change, but we want to honour you. We want to honour you, Steve and Vicky. We want to honour all of you, as well as your kids, because it'd be hard for them to just thank us for what you've done. And it's because of you as well that we all get to enjoy tonight's reward. And we really honour you to the max. Really appreciate you.
Yeah. And also our church has been supporting you guys, praying for you guys, and they're watching the live stream, so they want to just pass on their love and their prayers for you guys as well. So
Thank you very much. You've been sitting outside there, missing the service, the whole service. But they actually come in yesterday, wasn't it?
we came in like 1 o'clock this morning.
1 o'clock this morning. Yeah, so feel free. We're going to have we're going to a time of worship. We've got a worship leader up there. But you got anything else you'd like to say? Lots of words. Really proud of you both.
Yes.
And I'm going to close off. So the reason we do what we do is families. You know what I mean? And as a man leads, a woman follows. And Nathan, I just really encourage you, man. It's just one day at a time. Unless you fight to give your children what they never have, they're going to have to fight for what you don't fight for. So you can fight to give them 80%, you can fight to give them 70%, you can fight to give them 100%. Reality is you're not going to get it all right, because in your brokenness you're going to try your best. But you sit down often and say, son or daughter, I've never had a dad to be a dad, help me to be a dad, but I'm going to try and fix most of it. But when I can't fix all of it, can you fight for what it is that I don't know how to fix? You know, and we can break that chain, we can break that generational stuff. But really, God bless you and keep you, man. Beautiful. All right, you deserve it. It's good. That's what we're about, isn't it? That's why we do what we do. It's about restoring families, husbands and wives, children. It's about giving the memories we have. Always, I just love it. Really proud of you. It's both off the charts. We're going to end with a time of worship, and then we're going to have a time of feed. If you've been watching on Shalom House, we've been tried about 6 times to get the sound right. Good job, Jay. Change starts with us. Me as men, I believe change starts with us as men. Stand your feet, please. Goodbye, those who are watching on.